Hi, I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the one that got away, perhaps the greatest modern Cartier, and certainly the most admired among men who love watches for the sake of watches, the Cartier Roadster Chronograph in stainless steel. You can see and you can purchase this much-loved discontinued reference on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images for your desktop that don't include my wrist, and of course complete pricing details for this Cartier Roadster Chronograph. Now, the Roadster came out in 2002, and it was pretty much dead and buried one decade later, overlooked in a decade preoccupied with size, status, flamboyance, and, quite frankly, the Ballon Bleu. It was in fact the Roadster that represented the best channeling of Cartier aesthetic values and sensibility for luxury, a watch that appeals to almost every watch fan's inherent love of the automobile, not through co-branding. It's not for Ferrari or Bentley or Aston Martin. It's the subtle, sensuous curves of the case end screws that look like the Frenched taillights of a 1950s hot rod, the dial evocative of vintage Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, and Jaguar dashboard instruments, the gorgeous blending of the crown and the swell of the crown into the magnifier for the date, almost like the lens of a high-performance car's lights, and of course, an overall profile that is simply sexy. It exudes sex appeal like the fender of a 1961 Jaguar E-Type. This is a watch, quite frankly, that deserves its own tribute edition, and that less than 20 years after the release of the original. But the original is tough to beat, and as you can see on my wrist, it's about 41 millimeters across the broad of the case, not inclusive of the crown or the chronograph pushers. In terms of thickness, it actually sits fairly low on the wrist, 12.5 millimeters with a rounded and stepped case flank. This watch will slip under a dress cuff. It is quite compatible with formal attire. Now, it is 56 millimeters from solid end link to solid end link. You can see across the wrist it is wide, but it's also cambered, so it has a curvature to it that nicely traces the arc of your wrist. Therefore, it doesn't feel like a watch that's 56 millimeters across. It feels far more compact, and I would go so far to say it wears like a 43 millimeter round watch. Now, it has a richness and solidity to it that I'm not going to say Cartier has moved away from, but I certainly haven't encountered anything in the current catalog that feels as overtly sporting, rich, and at the same time as solid as the Roadster. The Roadster links all the wickets. It connects every post. It quite simply bowls a strike. Everything works, from the changing plane of the links of the bracelet to the contrasting satin and polished finish. You can see all of the individual links fixed by screws, all of the links adjustable. Even the bracelet itself appears fantastically designed with originality, innovation, and a sensitive eye. You'll also note the intermediate steps of the H-shaped links contrasting with the intermediate links. There's a lot going on. It's deceptively simple, but in fact quite complex, to the point that each individual link is semi-curved, so that not only does it bend around your wrist, but the links create a compound curve to better hug your forearm. Now, it features a simple and secure double folding deployant that's quite discreet and low in profile to avoid desk diving damage when it's closed. It's not a hardcore sports watch, it's a sporty watch, so I don't feel the need for a clamshell or a trigger here. Speaking of triggers, the watch has a unique quick-release system for the bracelet. Today, it continues to do business at Richemont's sister firm IWC as the quick-release system for the Aqua Timer. You pull the tab on either side and the bracelet slides right out to easily replace it with a rubber or a leather strap should you wish to dress up or dress down or simply clean your watch more closely. 100 meters water resistant. It is a sports watch, and for late summer fun this year, I can't think of a better option. The combination of the sensuous high-polished case with the stunning dashboard-inspired chronograph dial of the watch, luminescent, easy to see at night. Again, like I said, it is a sports watch, and it features a ETA 2894 modular automatic chronograph caliber, an accurate and tough timekeeper. It also uses vertical clutches to ensure that the action of the chronograph is smooth with no jumps or staggers, and it always resets precisely to the index at 12 o'clock. Now, the chronograph is paired with a date that's discreetly integrated. The date itself is discreet. The magnifier for the date is fantastic, flamboyant, sensuous, rounded off to continue the line created by the plinth of the crown itself. If you can imagine the Dagmar-style bumpers on late 1950s Cadillacs, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, you can see that imagery inherent in the crown structure. This is a beautiful and original effort, one of Cartier's modern best, a watch that, quite frankly, I believe Louis Cartier would have designed if he were still alive today, and creating watches within the modern paradigm, looking to the worlds of automobile design, automotive history, looking to the machine for inspiration. This machine is brilliantly rendered in its image. You can see this modern classic Cartier Roadster automatic chronograph and buy it on our website.